Hello, everyone. Just give me a second here. Hello, everyone. So we are doing some collective, some pick a card readings today, not collective readings. We're gonna do a few pick a card readings for this full moon that is coming up in Aries. I also have a video about the astrology of this new moon over on my YouTube that I just did. So it literally just got uploaded. If you want to check that out later as well. So we're going to do some oracle card readings. Hello, Tiff. We're going to do some oracle card readings today. If I can get my computer working the way I want it to. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a graphic for you all. And I want you to look at it and comment 1, 2, or 3 in the bottom in the comments. And we are going to jump into these readings. So give me a second and I'll pull that up. So here it is. Oh, I'm going to turn that banner off because that's cutting parts of that off. And that's really annoying me. Where'd that banner? Oh, hold on. Sorry. Let's pop that off. So we have 1, 2, or 3. Let me know, guys, which ones you are wanting. And we're going to do some readings for these. Tiff, you're number 2. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hello, Krista. So we're doing pick a card readings. So pick whichever pile you feel pulled to. You can comment it in the comments below, and then we're going to do readings for them. Okay. So there's 1, 2, or 3. 3. Sweet. Nia, hello. Okay, guys, so comment 1, 2, or 3 in the comments below. Let me know what pile you guys feel drawn to, and I will pull some cards. We're going to give this a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to jump into the readings. So these are for the full moon. Okay, let's jump into this. Guys, I'm not doing personal readings. So if you want a reading, I do personal readings over on my Etsy. I also do them live on here. Twice a week. And they're $12 when I do them live. They are $30 over on my Etsy because I do go more in depth over there. Okay. So I'm not answering specific questions. We're just going to do full moon readings. Perfect. Okay. So the decks that I'm using today, we have rune cards. So I felt pulled to use runes. And we also have the deck called the Power of Surrender deck. So we're going to find out. So pile number 1, we're going to read for pile number 1 first. And then go from there. So what is it that pile 1s need to know? What is it that they need to release with this full moon? Pile 1s. What is it that pile 1s need to know? What are they needing to surrender with this full moon? Interesting. Okay, so pile 1s, what we have coming up, we have surrender to passion. And this card says, get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. However, this was reversed. So this came out reversed, which tells me that you have a little bit too much passion. So it's almost like this stagnant kind of so much energy pulled in that you don't really know what to do with it. There's so passion, I connect with fire, right? So my pile 1s, I feel like you guys have a lot of internal fire. Like you guys are really, really, really feeling this fire energy with this full moon coming up. And this full moon is in Aries, which is an extremely passionate sign. Um, Most fire signs are, right? And it's like you guys have all this passion that's just you're not quite sure how to express it and how to work with it, I feel like, in a lot of ways. So you need to kind of release a lot of this stuck energy, this stuck passion, the stuck. I feel like it's just fire energy. I feel like a lot of it's like just I almost it just feels like balled up to me. Okay. Um, so when we get what we need to release, it's all this energy that you've been holding on to, that you haven't expressed, that you haven't let out, because I can see it densifying, and that's not really a good thing. We have Minaz coming up for the rune cards. So we have the rune of Minaz. We have the rune of Laguz, which is the water rune. And so then we have, I can never pronounce this one, Uruz, which is the ox, or the rune of the ox. Minas is my connection rune. I feel like it represents the connection between humanity. So Minas kind of takes like Minaz kind of takes this energy of like one person and another person and that internal connection between people, right? However, the way this is being shown to me is not between people, it's between energies in general. And this cycle of things and this internal connection between energies. It's coming across as balance to me, and I know that's going to sound really weird because this rune typically doesn't have to do with balance, at least to my understanding. I'm going to look this up because I know there's always more to runes. My understanding of this is interconnectedness. Um, but even interconnectedness, our energy is interconnected to everything, right? So we have to release this. You guys are, if you're with, oh, this fire energy is really screwing with my head today. Okay, so if you guys are my pile ones, sorry, we have this need to release a lot of energy that you've been storing up, storing up, storing up, storing up. Because of this power of surrender is reversed, it's like you guys have not been expressing that energy out. It's all this fire energy bubbled up inside you, and I can see it compressed, almost like you would the sun, right? It's almost being like what it's being shown to me as this compressed amount of energy. And what the universe wants you to let go of, or what this full moon is telling you to release and let go of, is this energy. You've been holding on to it, and I feel like it's been throwing things out of balance for you, right? This is definitely energy that you feel super connected with. I feel like a lot of you have been holding on to it because you feel connected to it. And there's this reluctance to kind of let it go. It's almost like you need it, you need it, you need it, right? A lot of you may have been feeling, I feel like up until this point, a lot of you may have been feeling really drained and very unenergetic and very like depleted of energy, and then all at once you get this energy surge, right? We've had a lot of solar flares going on. There's a lot of enhancements in the energy. And you guys are like, well, I've been so depleted of energy up until this point, and now I'm going to hoard it. Now I'm going to hold on to it and hold on to it and just bottle it all in and bottle it all in and bottle it all in instead of um expressing it because you've lacked it up until this point. This is what I'm feeling. But the cards are saying like this isn't going with the flow of things. I feel like a better option for you guys for my pile ones, a better option for you guys is to sorry about the spammers, guys. I'm blocking those. The better option for this is to put that energy into something else. I keep seeing, so the menaz I see as like an external thing. Like we can take our energy and we can put them into other things. And that might be a better option for you guys so you aren't holding on to that energy and internalizing it, but it's still available to you if you need it. So there's a lot of things coming in with this full moon. Energy is at its peak. If you've been tired, like I said, there's a lot of energy coming in with this full moon. You may be tempted to hold on to it if you haven't been holding on to it already. I feel like a lot of you have. But if you haven't, you might get an energy surge with this full moon that you might be tempted to hold on to that energy because I feel like a lot of you up until some points have been feeling really depleted. And that's why you like really want to hang on to this. But with the Lagoos coming up, it's like this isn't going with the flow of things. Like energy is meant to constantly flow and to cycle in and to come in and go out, to come in and to go out, right? It's not meant to be stagnatized. There is a flow to this. um, and I'm seeing with the Menaz, the way that they're showing it to me is to put it into another object. So if you have something like a crystal, or even oil, or sun water. Water's another thing that you can put this into, right? Take your all this energy that you're storing within yourself, because I feel like this is too much energy to be holding on to, and this is gonna manifest really negatively for you guys in the sense of it's gonna create energetic blockages, which is not what you want. Um, so take the energy and put it into something else. So put it into a crystal, put it into water, put it into an oil, an anointing oil that you can anoint yourself with when you're feeling low on energy. So that energy reserve is still there. That exchange of energy. Do you see how that symbol kind of looks like an infinity symbol? And then like I almost see the sticks, especially in this card, like the way it's being shown to me is like energy, right? But energy is all interconnected. So we can take the energy inside of us and put it into something else and store it into something non-physical so that it's not affecting our physical body. Like you guys, I understand the need to hold on to this or want to hold on to it because nobody likes feeling depleted, right? And this works with the natural cycles as well because we're allowing other things to hold it. And then when we do go through those dips where we feel low in energy, we have something that's already containing energy that we can pull energy from. Does that make sense? So for pile ones, like you guys are that you need to let go of all this energy that you're pulling in and holding on to. It's not doing you any good. But I also feel like this is the way to let go of it and to release it. What you need to do is to put it into another physical object, one that you can pull the energy from. Clear quartz is amazing for this, or any type of quartz crystal. So it could be citron, it could be amethyst, it could be rose quartz, it could be clear quartz, it could be smoky quartz. I feel like clear quartz is probably the best, or even citron or honey calcite or something like that that has a yellowy orange hue to it, only because oranges, reds, and yellows are connected to energy. So anything like orange quartz crystals or yellow quartz crystals or red quartz crystals. I don't know of too many red quartz crystals, but that's why I was like honey calcite, um, citron, things like that, right, are great to put all this excess energy into. Clear quartz is a fairly common quartz crystal you can find almost anywhere in any part of the world. So that's another, and it's cheap, it's inexpensive. You can put it into that. If you don't have crystals, you can put it into water and put the water into a jar, right? To do that, all you're going to do is take your hand and put it over the water and visualize all this excess energy that you've been holding on to coming out of the chakra points in your hands, because there's chakra points in the center of your hands, which are what Reiki healers use. Um, along with the ones in the fingertips. But there's chakra centers right in the center of your hands. If you place your hand over top of that, you can project the energy out of your chakra center in your hands into the water. And then just anoint yourself like you would, I hate to say it, with holy water or something like that when you go into a church, right? So when you're feeling low on energy, you can anoint yourself. If it's a drinkable water, you could take, you know, some bottled water or something as well and do that and just stick it in the fridge so that you can drink it and ingest it when you're feeling low on energy. That kind of thing is going to help. I'm seeing that it's going to help to kind of pull your energy up when you're feeling down, right? But there definitely needs to be a flow of energy. And if you're holding on to it, it's not flowing, it's not going to do you any good. Especially with Ur the Uruz. Oh my God, I can never pronounce this rune for the life of me. The Uruz rune talks about strength. So this is going to give you that strength and that energy. So Uruz, the actual rune itself represents the ox, and back in the time that these runes were constructed, there was majorly huge freaking oxes that they had to hunt and take down as part of initiation rituals. And it took a lot of strength, it took a lot of courage, it took a lot of willpower to go after these things because they could have probably crushed them. Right? When we're going after any big animal, that takes courage, it takes strength, it takes willpower, it also takes energy, right? So this is going to give you the energy that you need to survive this, to push through it. Does that make sense? So my pile ones, you guys have a lot of energy that you've been holding on to that you need to release and let go of. And the best way to do it is to put it into something. Put it into water, put it into oil. Oil works the same way. Just place your hand over top of it and imagine the energy that you're holding on to going into the oil. And then you can just anoint yourself with the oil when you're feeling low on energy, or you can even anoint a candle with it and burn a candle. If you're doing a crystal, you want to hold it in the palm of your hand and close your hand over it and picture and feel all the energy, kind of excess energy that's in you, flowing from your body into the crystal through your hand, right? And you want to continue to do this till you feel more leveled, because I'm noticing with this Aries full moon, there's like, it's ADHD, it's ADHD kind of energy, as you can see from the way I'm speaking. The energy that's being channeled is like crazy hyper energy. So you guys definitely need to tone it down a bit, put it into something, utilize it, and use it properly. Because if you hold on to it, it's going to it's going to give you headaches. Aries energy works a lot with the head, right? So you hold on to too much Aries, you're going to get migraines and headaches and all that not so fun stuff. Nobody wants that. Okay. So now we're going to do pile twos. Let's see what's coming up for pile twos. Hello, Denise. Good morning. Hello, Jessica. So let's see what's coming up for pile twos. What do my pile twos need to release with this full moon? Stubbornness. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see what more we can get on this. What else? What more information can you guys give me? What else? What needs to be released? Pile twos. Okay, a lot of okay, this is interesting. Give me a minute. Okay. So we have stubbornness coming up. Surrender to stubbornness. Surrender stubbornness is what's coming up for my pile twos. As what you need to be releasing this full moon. It says, if you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. The cards that we had coming up, we have Gabo. I want to say Gibu, but I feel like that is mispronounced. But anyways, we have the gift rune coming up reversed. Or the equality rune. We're gonna say equality. We have Hagalaz, which is the hail rune, coming up reversed as well. We also have the Degas rune, which is the infinity cycles rune. I feel like it's more infinity. We'll say the infinity rune. I connect it with cycles too, only because like the sun goes through an infinity symbol when it goes through the sky. So, and then we have Iwas as well, which is the movement rune or the horse. It's the horse rune. And that's reversed as well. So a lot of you are you're so stuck. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this stubbornness, you gotta let it go. Um, you guys are sticking yourselves with this. The stubbornness is really, 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 really keeping you stuck. Stuck, stuck, stuck. I feel like you guys have been stuck in this for a bit. I just want to check something. Okay, so stubbornness is not a bad thing. However, I feel like you guys have overset your boundaries. So when I think about stubbornness, I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as it can be very healthy. It marks boundaries, right? it it sets our limits and our boundaries, and it says like, look, this is where I'm willing to go, this is where I'm not willing to go, this is what I'm willing to do, this is what I'm not willing to do, right? I feel like stubbornness is just a way of expressing our boundaries and our limits, but I feel like this is overdone. This is setting so many boundaries and so many limits that there's no movement that can occur through this. And it's hindering you. It's causing a lot of like in it's causing a lot of health for you. Okay, so the Hagel's rune or the Hail rune, it has to do with destruction. And the reason it has to do with destruction, but it's destruction for rebirth, so to speak, right? It's going through those really tough times, but going through those tough times makes us even stronger, right? The land, when it goes through traumatic things like hail, it comes back, the land is stronger, right? It builds resilience. It's building resilience through challenges, right? But you guys are like creating all of these situations where you're getting stuck and needing to be resilient. And I feel like that's where the stubbornness is, because somehow you guys are creating this. Um, a lot of you might be like highly fixed energy. You might be fixed sun signs, fixed moon signs, fixed ascendants, or you have a lot of fixed energy in your chart. So I know even for me, I've got my sun in a fixed sign, but like half my planets are also in fixed energy. So I'm extremely fixed. Um, so we don't really like change. We like consistency, and stubbornness comes from that because we want to keep things going. We don't want to end things. We don't want to change things. We just want to keep things the way they are, right? Um, and I'm feeling like a lot of this is wreaking hell on you guys. And it is your own stubbornness that is wreaking this hell on you. It's your own stubbornness that's bringing about these craziness, this like crazy, crazy stuff that's going on because you're not willing to change things. You're not willing to go with the flow of things. You're like so set in your ways. And it's sad because with the Gibu, whatever, the gift rune. I'm gonna call it the gift rune because yeah. Um, it's like this treasure. So like the way I see this is like a bow, a gift bow, or the old saying that X marks the spot when you're looking for treasure, right? You have to find, but it's also balance, right? When things are stagnant, it's out of balance. And we're creating this ourselves. You guys are creating this yourselves. Um, and it's weird. It's so weird because it's almost like you guys are creating this to prove to yourselves how resilient you are. That's what's coming through. It's like, I'm gonna be stubborn and I'm gonna let the universe throw whatever the hell it's gonna throw at me so that, I can prove to myself and prove to others and prove and prove and prove and prove that I can be strong, I can be resilient, I can make it through all this shit. And all this shit is needless. You don't have to deal with this, but you're making the conscious choice to put yourself into this position, which is, it's hard for me to kind of wrap my head around that. It's like you guys are standing your ground and you're like, I'm not moving. I am not moving. I don't want to move. The movement card is literally reversed. The horse card, and the horse back in those days was the main form of transportation. It is what got you from one place to another, other than your own 2 feet, right? So you're not moving forward, and it's because you have something to prove. There's an ego here. I feel like you have to release this energy and let it go. Um, because it's not cycling. So this is like the cycles card I said. Right. It's not cycling, it's stuck. And you guys are keeping it stuck, I feel like, because it's like you want to prove. I don't even feel like this is to everybody else in the world because it's reversed. It's like you want to prove to yourself that you're strong and you're resilient and you can make it through whatever. But you don't have to prove that to anybody. Like, why you would want to create these things when if you just let this energy go, there's so much more positivity. Like, if you let this energy go, you have gifts coming into you. There's things coming back. Things will balance back out because there's imbalance right now. Right? Things will balance back out. I feel like that they keep telling me that sometimes strength is in surrender. This is important for you guys to know, apparently. So if you're pile twos, sometimes our pride, which can be our stubbornness, can be our greatest demise. We think that it is weak to surrender to things. And I'm getting that with this because you see how that's upright is the warrior. He's ready to fight, right? When he's reversed, it's like it's that surrender of things. Surrender is not weakness. Surrender is knowing which battles to fight and which battles not to. Surrender is knowing where to put your energy and where not to. There's so much wasted energy right here. And I feel like that is so right now we have the sun in Libra, right? And it's conjunct with Mars. And this is very the Hagalaz rune or Hagalaz is very much connected to, I feel like, Mars energy in a lot of ways. This whole reading seems connected to Mars energy. And Mars is the action oriented energy, right? But it's the warrior, it's the part that wants to fight, and we don't back down because we view that as weakness. But the thing is, where Mars is placed right now is at its weakest point. It's like that warrior who is mortally injured that just wants to get up and keep fighting, right? Well, you can't fight because you're probably going to die at that point. I mean, if you have severed limbs, you're not going to want your best to just rest and rejuvenate your body, right? Rest and let yourself heal before you go back out to battle. If you go back out to battle with severed limbs or bleeding heavily, you're probably going to bleed to death, right? If you don't allow your body to heal, that's the energy that's coming through. Surrender is not weakness, it's picking your battles, right? Right now with Mars and Libra, Mars is our energy. At least the energy we have to put out on things anyways. And we don't have a lot of energy as a collective right now to be putting out on things, right? So we really need to pick our battles, and we need to pick wisely where we're putting our energy, right? You guys are wasting so much energy on being stubborn and being fixated, and not to mention you're causing yourself hell doing it, because things are popping up that are trying to push you forward and you're pushing back, which just creates so much more resistance. For what? To prove that you can take on this battle? You're wasting energy. So I feel like it's time for you guys to stop exerting so much energy on being stubborn and just relax. Just relax. Take a few deep breaths, let yourself know that it's okay to surrender. It's okay to not have to feel like you have to fight everything, to not have to feel like not everything has to be a battle, right? When you've let yourself recuperate, you can be more effective to help other people when you're at maximum energy than you can when you're trying to take what little precious energy you have and use it, right? You're not even much help to yourself at that point, because you're just draining yourself and you're feeling tired and you're exerting so much energy that you don't need to exert. So stop exerting it. Just stop. Stop being so stubborn. I feel like something that's going to be of use to you guys is when you feel like the stubborn streak coming up, or you feel like you have to stand your ground on things, take a step back and ask yourself, is this a battle that's going to help me, or is this a battle that's going to hinder me? Is this important enough for me to be putting my energy out on? Is this worth it? Right? If it's not worth it, don't put your energy into it. Right? Because you guys have so much energy right now that you're just putting out on needless things. Needless. And you're going to deplete yourselves. You're definitely going to burn yourselves out. And nobody wants to be burnt out. So, this full moon also might be a good time for you to meditate also, with the Aries energy, because the moon is that warrior energy, right? The part that wants to get up and fight. And like I said, that's in Libra right now, which is the warrior that can't fight. It's like putting a warrior in a peace-loving country. It typically doesn't work because they want to take action, right? They want to protect. But in other ways, there are other ways to protect. There's ways to balance this out and use this energy. I feel like instead of, like I said, using it and expending it on things that aren't necessarily good or aren't going to be beneficial to you, take that step back and ask yourself that. And if it isn't, by all means, put the energy out. But make sure too, you're not going in resistance of things, because resistance is like that elastic band. You stretch it so much and eventually it's going to snap, or it's going to come back and it's going to it's going to sting when it when it comes back eventually, right? And you don't want that either. Um and Susan, I can't remember what this one is. Yeah, a lot of people have been feeling that it's coming up to this full moon, this Aries energy has been um we've had Libra in, or sorry, we've had Mars in Libra for quite a while. It's been a few weeks now that it's been in Libra, and I keep telling people like fighting, okay, when Mars is in Libra, fighting for things like fairness, which is this card, right? Balance, fairness, equality, all those Libra things are what we want to be putting our energy into right now. Um, Fighting for peace, fighting for justice, fighting for balance, fighting for equality, right? Creating that. You want to be creating that in your life and putting your energy into that, or even within the world, right? You can see that with all the protests that are going on right now, which is why it's like, I really want to see what this Mars in Libra brings, because I feel like people are going to be protesting where their freedoms are being taken away, protesting where there's lack of inequality, right? Where there's lack of justice, where things are being done illegally, where people aren't being treated fairly, where like all these protests are coming up, and it's not even just around, things to do with certain things. There's protests around animal rights. There's protests against, all sorts of different things coming up at this point in time. But that's what people need to be fighting for. If you feel like things are out of balance in your life right now, that's where you need to be putting your energy in. Instead of being so stubborn to keep things the same, or resisting all these changes that are happening, or fighting fights you don't need to fight, make sure that you're putting your energy where it needs to be put. We also have the Anzus. Now I'm trying to figure out, I can't remember what this one is for the life of me. I feel like it's got something to do with surrender, though. It's communication. Yeah, so we have Anzus on the bottom of this, and this is communication, but I also got the word perception. So it's all in the way you're viewing things, right? It's all in the way that you think about things and you perceive things. So sometimes Mars can be a very reactive energy, and we just tend to take action before we think. If you know an Aries, or you are an Aries, or anybody with a lot of like fire in their charts, they are people who tend to take action before they think about anything. They just get lit up about something and they charge right into it, right? And sometimes we can think that something's good for us and then it's not so good for us, or we can get into that fight mode where we just don't want to move, right? And we don't really think about what it is we're doing, we just do. And a lot of the times it's just mindsets. Like, a lot of the times it's our thinking that initiates us in, or a feeling that initiates us into action. We think we need to do something, so we do it. We feel we need to do something, so we do it, right? If we can change that perception in the way that we view it and the way that we think about it, then that kind of changes our opinions around it, right? And where we're putting our energy. So like I said, take the step back and really ask yourself whether it's something worth investing your energy into. Is it worth getting involved in a fight just to prove that you're right? Is it worth getting into arguments with somebody just to prove that your viewpoint is right? Or is it better off to let them believe what they're going to believe and just walk away from it to conserve your own energy? You know what I mean? Is it worth getting involved in drama, or stepping out of it? Is whatever your energy is going into, is it worth it? Just to prove a point. If it's not, don't do it. You really got to use your mind. I feel like with Ansu's on the bottom, it's like, use your mind, use your intelligence. Don't use that primitive nature, right? We're higher evolved beings for a reason. We tend to use our animal instincts a lot, but I feel like fire is like those primitive instincts. I shouldn't say animal instincts, but that's what came through. Okay, so let's do pile threes. See what comes up for you guys. What's interesting to pile twos is that the moon right now is in Aries, which maximizes the energies of this Aries moon. And Aries are stubborn. They really are. Once they get determined to do something, there's no hell bent. There's no getting them to turn around and go back. They're very forward moving signs, but the reason why Libra is the opposite of it is because Libra balances it out. Aries is like, I have this energy, I want to go do something, I want to, and Libra's like, stop to think it through, right? Stop to use your mind instead of following those lower, the like I said, those animal instincts. So they work well to balance each other out. I think you guys have an excess of like Aries energy right now. You need to definitely pull in some Libra energies and start rationalizing stuff before you do it and make sure where your energy is going is worth it. That just, I don't know why that came through. Okay, so we're going to do pile 3. Um, if you have problems doing that yourself, getting out to around other people who will call you out on that. Okay. Interesting. Okay, pile 3. So we had 2 cards come out for you. Let's see what else we can get. What else can you let us know about pile 3s and what they have to? Oh, that's funny that came out. What else do they have to focus on? What else do they need to be really seeing with this full moon? Pile 3s. Okay, so pile 3 is what we have coming out for you. We had 2 cards that came out. So we had surrender to trust and surrender low self-esteem, but I feel like these are intertwined with each other because when we have trust in ourselves, we believe in ourselves. We have that self-esteem. We're confident in ourselves. When we trust ourselves, we have that confidence in ourselves. When we don't have confidence in ourselves, our trust in ourselves is lowered, right? They're intertwined. So one that says, trust yourself in your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. Surrender to low self-esteem. You deserve success, love, and abundance. So an intention to identify and release any remnants. So set an intention, to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. So you guys really need to be letting go of this low self-esteem you have. And that's really, really, really hard to do for a lot of people. So I feel like for you guys tapping into the Aries energy, if you're pile 3s, you really want to soak in the Aries energy of this full moon because Aries are highly confident people. Okay. I love Libras, but Libras tend to go with the flow and they tend to go with the crowd and they are very influenced by other people. Aries are kind of the opposite. They're very confident in themselves typically, and they have a fairly high self-esteem usually. So you want to be pulling in that energy. You want to be focusing on that energy. So sitting and meditating and pulling in that energy is going to help you. So sit under the moon and pull in that Aries energy. I feel like it's going to help you. I'm getting one step at a time. Trust your own. I know this is going to sound weird. So you guys are highly intuitive, but you don't trust yourself at all. So with the Legu's coming up, which is the water rune, which I connect to intuition. And the fact that surrender to trust and low self-esteem is coming up. It's like you guys are highly intuitive. You're like highly in touch with things. You can tap into the flow, so to speak. You can tap into all this information, the psychic information that comes with water. Like water is the element on earth that absorbs everything, right? It pulls everything in and it crystallizes everything. So there's been studies done on this, on water that's had positive energy put into it, water that's had negative energy put into it. And you can actually see under a microscope how the molecular structure of water changes. The molecules change according to what type of energy is put into it, right? You guys are very sensitive to energy, but I feel like you don't have a lot of confidence in your abilities, in your spiritual abilities. I don't want to say psychic abilities because I don't think all of them are psychic, but I feel like your abilities, like, could be empathic, you could just be highly sensitive to energies around you. Like you're one of those people who can pick up on, residual energies in places, or emotional energies from people or places. There's lots of different empaths too. I feel like empaths get lumped into this whole lump sum of people who feel other people's emotional energies, but it goes so much deeper than that. Empaths can feel energies of things around them and spaces and so much more that people don't acknowledge. There's um there's so much there's lots of different types of empaths, which I don't think a lot of people know, but I feel like there's definitely some sort of sensitivity going on here, and you guys are highly in the flow of things, right? But you don't trust yourself enough to trust what you're feeling, and that's an issue. And that's really affecting your confidence. It's like you second guess everything that you're feeling. You second guess a lot of stuff that comes to you. It's like you guys have this with downloads and downloads and downloads of information, and you just don't trust it. Um, be around people who empower you. I also see that. So the sun rune is coming up. And I feel like one thing that's going to help with your confidence is surrounding yourself with people who have confidence in you to begin with. People who uplift you, people who aren't going to tear you down, right? People who help to strengthen you, people who will help support you through challenges. You really need the support right now, and surrounding yourself with people who make you feel good will help lift your own self-esteem. Because the way this works, okay, and is I'm getting the mirror effect, right? And a lot of people don't, we're told so much about, we mirror out into the world. And I say this a lot, we mirror out into the world what is within us, right? So when we don't have confidence, we mirror out. But the opposite is also true. By changing our exterior world as well, we can change our interior world. So we can build confidence by building confidence within ourselves. And as we build that confidence, we project it outwards, and then we tend to attract people with more confidence in us to us, right? But also, we can learn to pull confidence in ourselves in by surrounding ourselves with people, by changing our external world and making friends with people who have confidence in us, because all that energy is linked, right? What is internalized is mirrored external, and what is external is mirrored internal, right? So you guys can have that energy mirrored back at you internally from somebody external, right? And that's why I'm saying, like, surround yourself with people who believe in you, who have confidence in you, and who aren't afraid to call you out on shit when you are expressing low confidence. When you're talking shit about yourself, or you're thinking stuff about yourself that isn't true, and all this low self-esteem is in, you want these people who are going to be like, what are you doing? Right? Who are going to call you out on it, who are going to give you the pep talks and say, you're better than this. You can, who are going to support you through those challenging times and help you gain the belief that you need in yourself. I feel like the water is all about belief as well. So water is our spiritual beliefs, right? but I feel like it's how we feel about ourselves as well. That's going to help to improve how you feel about yourself. And as you feel better about yourself from other people telling you like you're worth it and showing you how much confidence they have in you, you then begin to absorb that energy. A lot of you may be very much extroverted people, and this is why I feel like being around people, because extroverted people, they pull the energy in from from other people, right? This is why extroverted people need to be around other people because they pull the energy in from other people. So I feel like being around positive people, because you are so extroverted, a lot of you, you're pulling all that energy into yourself and in turn raises your own frequency, which, as people believe in you more and they show you how much confidence they have in you, and then you're like, well, then you start to feel more confident in yourself because you're absorbing their energy of confidence. You're pulling in their confidence in you and materializing that in yourself. Does that make any sense? Um, so surround yourself by that. If you surround yourself by people who pull you down, that's the energy you're going to pull in. Right. And that's the energy and then that's going to keep you in the lower frequency. So get rid of all those people who don't make you feel good. Okay. That's one thing you can do. Really go through your contacts, go through your friends list, go through your social circles, um, and get rid of anybody who doesn't help support you, who doesn't help to bring out your confidence, who doesn't tell you how important you are, who doesn't make you feel important, who doesn't make you feel good, who doesn't help you shine, essentially. Okay? Um, because I feel like those are the people who's no good for you. Those are the people you need to be releasing right now and letting go of. Um, and that's where the trust comes in. Where it says trust yourself in your decisions, right? Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. So you may have people around you telling you do this, do that, or telling you you're not worthy of stuff, you're not this, you're not that, making you feel less confident in yourself, right? So ask these people out and trust your own decisions. Trust that you're doing the right thing. The whatever. This is the like step rune, okay? So this I almost like connect to somebody taking baby steps. It's like I'm a toddler taking their first steps. So this is the way I see this rune. And it's underneath at the bottom, and I feel like what it's saying is like this, it can be done. But be um do it in small steps and be happy. Celebrate your successes even if they are small. Like if you get rid of one person in your life that is like, it may not seem like a big thing and be like, well, I cut ties with this one person because I realized that they were really toxic and they weren't helping me. They weren't helping evolve me. They weren't helping uplift me. They were only holding my energy down and I felt like I didn't need it. And then, I feel like what you guys do now is like, well, it wasn't that big of a deal, and then you're like, you kind of talk yourself down, even if it was a positive thing. It's like, well, it wasn't really that big of a deal. Like, you don't see it as something worth celebrating. Celebrate it anyways, because it's those little steps, right? It's those little things that are going to lead to the bigger results. It's those little steps. I think so many people are like, well, I don't see what big of a difference this is going to make, but it's the little things. Like if you do enough of the little things, um, you can, it makes a big difference. Another thing that just came to me was writing down your successes and things you're proud of. So sometimes we beat ourselves up over failures. So sometimes we have low confidence because we look at all the things we've messed up on and all the things we failed at. So instead of looking at that, instead of looking at where we screwed up, where we went wrong, all of this stuff, At the end of the day, take a notebook and write out everything that you were successful at, everything you did. And this is probably going to make some of you cry because I can even feel the tears coming up as I'm talking about this. So, this is a huge emotional release for you guys. I feel like a lot of you don't give yourselves enough credit. I'm trying not to cry as I'm talking about this, enough credit for your own successes. A lot of you guys beat yourselves up over stuff, and you need to stop. Like, focus on the successes. Like I said, even if they don't seem that big, even if they don't, like, I hate to say it, but even getting out of bed sometimes is a success. And if you're one of those people who, like me, some days who has like absolutely no energy, there have been days where I literally wake up feeling like I have not slept all night, I've been up all night, I have no energy to move. By the way, I have a natural Mars in Libra, so you can see where this energy comes from, right? Where I said there's limited energy, right? I know this energy firsthand. I was born with it. So, there's days where I wake up and I'm like, I just don't want to move. I don't have the energy. And it's not depression, it's not anxiety, it's just literally like my physical energy is not there. And getting up out of bed is a success. Like, because it's something I can do, you know what I mean? Or something I thought I couldn't do. So it's an achievement, it's a success. If it's, you know, just the little tiny things, if cleaning or even cleaning one room if you don't have a whole lot of energy lately, getting out and going for a walk if you've been trying to implement exercise or eating healthy, eating one thing. That's another thing that I keep getting. Some of you may be on to regimes of some sort, whether it be exercise or diet or something, and you mess up or you don't continue with it, and then you beat yourself up for it. Don't beat yourself up over it. Look at what you have done. So even if you got up and you did a little bit of exercise, if it wasn't as much as you wanted to, even getting up and cleaning the house is exercise. Getting up and walking around just exercise, right? Um, Look at that. If you eat sweets, if you're on a diet or something, or you're trying to eat healthier and you cheat once in a while, don't beat yourself down over it. Just try to eat, be like, okay, well, I ate this healthy and I ate that healthy, and look at what you have eaten healthy that day instead of what you screwed up on, right? Or I don't want to say screwed up on, but that's the words like coming through. I feel like that's a lot of your words, like I screwed up, I screwed up, I screwed up, I screwed up, right? Don't focus on that. And that's going to build your confidence. That's going to build your trust. And the more confidence you build in yourself, the more you learn, the more trust you build in yourself as well. But it's the little steps, little steps. It's the little things that we forget to celebrate and that we forget to pat ourselves on the back for. So that is all of them. Is there any questions? I'm just going to take this off. Even today, for me, getting on here and doing these lives, major success because I had a huge headache when I woke up this morning. I overdid the readings last night. Did Mars and Libra, limited energy. I have to learn to better manage my energy. And I'm introverted, so when I spend a lot of time around people, it drains me. So that's like knowing your boundaries and limits too, right? Amber, it's okay. No problem. The replay will be up, so if you want to go through the replay, I don't have the timestamps in just yet, but they will be. But if you want to go through the replay and watch the replay, that will be up. They were just general readings anyways, so they weren't anything personal. Just for the full moon and what people can expect. I do also, guys, have a video up on my YouTube channel. I just got it done before I went live to do this on the full moon and all the energies that's going on with the full moon, this as astrologically speaking. So if you want to go check that out, that is up as well. So, yeah. So on that note, I'm going to jump off, guys, and I'll chat to you all later. I'm going to go get a drink because my throat is super dry from the 3 hours of recording and stuff I've been doing. Sounds good, Denise. That sounds good. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. For anybody, yeah, guys, check out my YouTube. All the astrology videos are going up there. These pick a card videos are going up there. So I leave this up for like 24 hours on my page and then I remove it and I just leave it up over on my YouTube. And all the astrology videos are going up over there. I have TikTok where I do daily polls, but I haven't done those either yet today. So I gotta get on that. So yeah, I'm gonna jump off of here and do all the stuff I still need to do. And thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys all enjoyed these, and I'll see you guys next week. If you guys have any suggestions on anything you want me to do pick a card readings on, drop them in the comments or message me or something with ideas because I never really know what to do pick a card readings on. So yeah, I want to do readings that are going to help you guys. So if you have any ideas of topics or even questions that I can do pick a card readings around, let me know. You're welcome, Denise. Thank you guys for taking the time to join me as well. I know it takes time and energy out of your day as well, so I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys all next week or later on this week when I go live for other readings, or I'll see you next week for the pick cards again. Have a good week, guys, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.